Hello, I'm James Pratt. I'm going to show you how to build a pole barn. I've got this pole barn started already a little bit. We're going to be working on that. And first off, I'm not a professional. I don't work in the construction industry. This is just something I'm doing at my own house. And I thought I'd give you a few tips. I'm a writer and a photographer and a computer guy. And so I have worked when I was younger with my dad. I did some construction around the farm or stuff. So I've got a little bit of background in that. Helped them build some swimming pools. But haven't done it in 30 years probably, and so this is kind of a project I'm taking on, and I thought I'd share with you how to do it. And I've got a few people giving me some advice on doing it, so this is something you could do yourself. And this is it's not that big of a project. It's a pretty good sized project, but it's something very doable. I'm building a 24 by 60 pole barn, and this is not going to have concrete. It's just going to be gravel, so I can store my tractor and some trucks and things like that in it. Later on, I'll be building another barn, the shop actually, but for right now it's just going to be a pole barn. The design, I had an engineer, because the city required me to have an engineer to design it. They designed with these piers in place. So I've already started the piers. I'm going to show you a little bit about that later. And it's going to be a wood construction with metal siding. And so I'll show you, we're going to go through the entire process. I've already started. We'll go through the layout. I designed the barn on a computer program, because I am a computer guy in 3D. So I had a 3D design program called Sketch I used to design it with. And I came up with how many feet of lumber I needed and what size of the lumber and how many posts I'm going to have. And then I had an engineer kind of design the plan, but then I put it all together in the computer the way I wanted it. And so this is kind of my design we're doing. First thing we did was we laid out and got everything really square. I'm going to go through with you how to make sure things are square. If you're not familiar with that, basically it's some basic high school math. Is you want your lengths and your sides to be exactly the same. We use these string lines to do that with. And so we got 24 foot this way, 60 foot that way. And then if you're familiar with triangles, to get it square, you measure from that corner to this corner and this corner to this corner. And they have to be exactly even. We got them within a 1/4 inch. So that gets our building square to start with. We leave up these batter boards, these wooden boards you'll see here. And that's for our strings, and we don't touch those batter boards. We can take the strings down, work on the barn, put the strings back up, and it gets us everything back to square. And then we're using a laser level to level with. I'll show you that. Our corner post over here is our reference point. So that's going to be our reference point as we build the building for our level. And let's get started. Right now we're going to set level. We're going to set our reference level. We've already poured this piece of concrete right here, and it's been set over a couple days. And it's nice and hard and solid. That was our beginning point of the barn right here. And so this is going to be our reference point. And we came out earlier and made sure everything, we knew from doing our measurements that this was a little bit lower on that end than it is here. And so we wanted to pick this as our reference point. So this is going to be where we start. Every single measurement is this corner right here. And with our level, we've got a DeWalt auto leveler out there. It's a laser level. It spins around and around and around, and you can't see it. You can hold your hand down here and you can't see the laser, but this instrument can see the laser. And so whenever the laser shines across this line right here, it tells you you're exactly level. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set this to our reference point, and then we're going to go around everywhere else where we're setting these strong ties and set those to where it's the same level as this. And so I'm going to turn this thing on, and you'll hear it beep. And you won't be able to see it because it's on the other side. But as we get it right on level, either up or down, it shows it's up a little bit. It's a little too low. So I'm going to adjust this up on the stick until it gets where it's beeping a solid line. There it goes, just like that. And so you want to move this up and down the stick until that says it's boom, right exactly level here. And then we're going to go around and put these at every place else. Now your your laser out there can really be set on about anything, as long as it's good and solid and doesn't move around on you. I got it set on a couple of paint cans on a piece of metal. You could put it on a tripod. You could put it on a ladder, whatever would be nice and solid that wouldn't move while you're actually working that day. You can move it tomorrow, move it the next day, but every time you move it, every time I set up, I come back here and reset my level so that my stick is correct. And then I use that to set all my other levels. So this is our reference point. So we could move that anywhere we wanted, come back, set our stick, get this exactly where it belongs, and then we go around and make everything else level to that. Later on we'll do the same thing with our tin and our top runners. Well, right now I'm mixing up some concrete to put in for these sonotubes. Our barn, we're putting in piers. So I've got these 12-inch sonotubes, and we're going to mix concrete. We're putting some Simpson strong ties down in those, and then putting rebar down into the concrete to kind of tie it all together. We're using our laser level to level everything across here. So we'll show you that in a minute. Right now I'm going to mix a little concrete. I've decided to use a bag concrete versus a truck because I'm doing it myself and I can't get everything ready for a truck to come in. There wouldn't be all that much concrete for a truck, and so just I'm kind of taking my time doing it myself. I'm just doing, it takes about 3 bags of concrete for half of a 24-inch, or for a 48-inch sonotube. Cut it in half, get 24 inches, and that's what I'm putting in the ground. I don't know if you ever mixed concrete before, but it's pretty basic. Just add water to this sackcrete, and you gotta get your mixture about right. It's kind of trial and error. You want it where it's just a little bit, you don't want it soupy, but you don't want it dry either. You want it a little bit, you want it pretty well wet all the way, but dry enough so you can kind of see the rocks and everything. So I'll show you a batch here in a second. Get this one mixed up. I like to use a hoe. Whole lot easier than a shovel to mix with. And a wheelbarrow, just you don't have to lift it and turn it over. You just kind of drag it back and forth. You can get all the way down into it that way. And you can see here, my concrete's a little dry, so I'm adding a little more water to it. Kind of boring to watch mixing concrete. Yeah, it looks about right. It's going to be all wet, but not soupy. So there's no, when get all done here, there'll be no dry pieces in it. And you can kind of see the texture of the concrete and the rock. There won't be any dry pieces, so let's go pour this out. All right, what I'm going to do right now is I got these sonotubes, or these are 12 inches. You can get them in different size, or 12-inch diameter across here, and they're 48 inches long. The size that I need, I'm cutting them in half for 24 inches. That should be plenty. We get there's probably about 18 inches in the ground, and a little rest on top. So we're going to cut them. That's real easy to do. I just make a quick mark with a pencil. Don't have to be too exact. Just around it. And let's use my handy little battery-powered skill saw, which works really nice. Simple as can be. Then these bottom parts are kind of rough. I put those at the bottom, the nice square, smooth ones at the top. Drop those in. I've got 2 of these sonotubes now for piers. So now I need to cut some rebar to go in the holes